Hey everyone, I'm David Karachi with the Vet Group at Covenant Partners Realty. Today we're in Alamos Park in San Antonio and we're going on a very important subject. What are the top 7 mistakes I see new home buyers making when purchasing a home? Number 1 on our list today is going solo. Now I have to admit, before I became a realtor and really became invested into the real estate market, I thought that if I called the listing agent sign and called them directly, that I'll be able to get a discount because I don't have my own realtor. The unfortunate thing is you're going into one of the largest investments of your life unrepresented. And truthfully, you're not going to see that discount because that listing agent already has a pre-negotiated price, their percentage, negotiated with the seller. So you're not going to see the savings, the seller's not going to see the savings, the listing agent's going to be happy because they just made double commissions. But unfortunately, legalities of it, you're not going to be represented throughout the transaction. You wouldn't go to a very expensive case, a lawsuit, without a lawyer. So why would you make a big investment like a home without being represented yourself? Real estate agents are here to help you make the transition smooth and also to make sure that you stay away from any potential red flags that will ruin your long-term investment of a purchase of a house. Number 2 on the list is neglecting to get everything in writing. Now, verbal agreements can be upheld in the court of law, but unfortunately it's not going to upheld as much as something in writing. So at a minimum, make sure it's at least on email traffic or at least a text message so you have something in writing. But ideally you want it on an actual form that is approved by your local real estate commission. So for here in Texas, if it's on a TAR form, you're going to be perfectly fine. The issues that I see a lot of times with new home builders, when you're sitting down and signing those contracts, they'll say, yes, you'll get a new refrigerator, or we can put these upgrades, but it's never on that original contract. It's never on writing. Another thing that could also come around is if you have a washer and dryer in the house, if you're trying to negotiate that to the sales as a non-realty item, make sure it's written down. Don't just go by, okay, yes, we'll go a little bit higher on a sales price and then you can include the washer and dryer, or we'll do this repair ourselves, but in lieu of that repair, I want you to leave the washer and dryer. If those are the items that you're negotiating, make sure you get it down in writing, because if it's verbal, it's going to be really hard for you and your lawyer to go back later and sue, essentially, to get those items. Number 3 on the list is buying with emotions. Now this is a big issue I see a lot of times, especially with the first-time home buyers. They get their emotions wrapped over a specific house and they lose control of what they actually needed in that house in the first place. So for example, let's say they're trying to buy a home and they need 5 bedrooms because they have 3 kids and they want that extra guest bedroom and they want it like maybe an office, and they have all these specific requirements. Now there's plenty of different price points and plenty of different homes that can offer that to them, but they find this house that is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, and they love it because it has the best kitchen and it has a really good view of the city or something. Those emotions get so overwhelming and they're so excited about something that is not on the requirement list that they'll actually make that purchase for that home. We'll double bunk the bedrooms and let the kids sleep in the bedrooms. We don't necessarily need that office anymore. That 3rd-car garage is no longer needed. Now we can go down with 2-car. Their emotions get so attached over one piece of the house that they completely forget about the rest of the items that they came to the table why we need to buy this house in the first place. I've had clients before who are selling a house that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath because they need to move into a larger home because they have a bigger family. But when we're actually seeing houses, they fall in love with a house that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So it takes some effort to kind of get rid of those emotions, figure out, okay, what are your necessities, what do you need in a home, and stick to those. Sometimes it's the other way around too. They only need a 3-bedroom house, and now they start looking at 6-bedroom houses. You don't need that much space. You don't even have any kids yet. Like just stay in your moment. So don't let your emotions get attached. Make sure that you're hitting your requirements and you stick true to those requirements throughout the entire process. Number 4 on the list is getting fixated on the sales price and forgetting about all the rest of the items that are included on a mortgage payment. So a lot of times I see clients that are so fixated on, I want to buy at this certain price range, whether it be lower or higher, and they forget about the other items that go in cost. So let's say they're trying to buy a home and they're trying to be cautious about how much money they spend. They're approved for $250,000, but they really want to buy that house at $180,000. So they start moving out of the school districts that they really wanted. They start moving out of the comfort zone of the neighborhood that they like, and they find this home that is a really good deal for $180,000. The issue is they don't understand the other prices that go into it. If they bought a house at $220,000 maybe, they might be able to save money on maintenance, save money with cost efficiency with the electric, because you have better insulation, you have a better AC units, better appliances that will actually save you money per month. So it's not always about the sales price itself. $180,000 sounds better than $220,000 when it comes to mortgage payments, but what are the other fees that you're going to be paying? HOAs, maintenance, things like that are going to add up, because you could actually quickly add those things up and actually have a more expensive payment per month with that $180,000 versus a home at $220,000. The other thing I see a lot of times is they want to keep up the Jones. So they're approved for $300,000, but we could find homes for them for about $250,000. But they're so fixated on saying, okay, I'm approved for $300,000. I want to buy a home for $300,000, so I can tell my family and friends I own a $300,000 house. Honestly, they don't care about how much money you spent. They care about the condition of the house and how well it fits you and your needs. So stick to those items, not necessarily the price itself. Number 5 on the list is choosing the wrong mortgage program. There's a lot of different options out there and it can get overwhelming. And this is the reasons why you need to find a good loan officer that can sit down with you, go over your scenario, and find the best option for you. If you're military or prior service, you might have access to your VA loan. If you're a first-time home buyer, you might have access to the FHA loan, only 3.5% down. If you're in an agricultural area, you might be able to get the USDA-backed loan, which means you're also 100% finance, zero money down. Or you can go the conventional route, 5% minimum, and you can even hit up to 20%, neglecting your PMI insurance, which is actually another monthly fee that you can take off your monthly payment, saving you money. So find that loan officer that will be able to work with you, find out the best situation for you specifically in your scenario. Because if you look online and everyone will say this is the best program, this is the best program, but that's for their scenario, their position, their location, but maybe not for you. There's a two-part on this. And a lot of times I see people fail, or one of the failures I see while purchasing a house is using grants. Now, a lot of buyers will ask me, can I use a grant, or do you know about this grant program? Yes, there are a lot of grants out there that will help you with your down payment for a new home. That is great. Use it if you can. The issue I see is when people don't have the savings because they're expecting to have that grant when it comes time to close their house. So if they need $5,000 to close and that grant is going to pay that $5,000, what they should do is have $5,000 in savings in case that grant doesn't come through. Because what I see a lot of times happen is the grant dries up, no more funding for new home buyers, and they don't get to use that grant, which means they don't have enough money to close, which means they don't get the house. So make sure you use that as a secondary option, as a bonus when you purchase your house, and don't buy a house with that intention to use that grant. Number 6 on the list is buying a home without an inspection. I see this a lot of times with people who are not required by a government-backed loan to actually use an inspection. They bring a family member or a friend that's a handyman or a contractor and use them to inspect the house for them instead of paying that $400 or $500 for the inspector. Now, while this might save you money up front, the long term, it could be potentially damaging for you and your investment. And the reason why is because if they are not licensed to inspect that house, they may overlook a costly item that has to be repaired. Foundation, roof, AC, water heater, these are all things that the inspector is going to look through. And if they see any red flags, they are trained and certified to mark that down in an inspection report to advise you to either negotiate the costs or the repairs or not purchase that home altogether. So there's a lot of different options with that home inspection that is very important. Now, there are times I see people bypassing their inspection up front, and I can understand why. And that reason is a new home. The new homes usually come with the new home from the builder directly. And the reason why is because they usually come with a 1-year warranty. And when that warranty starts to come up that first year, then they'll have the inspector come out with a list, and hand it over to the builder and say, hey, you need to repair all these items. That way they have 1 year living in the house, and now they can get essentially a brand new home again after 1 year living. That I can understand. But if you're going to a house and you're trying to save $400 or $500, just know you're opening yourself up for a lot of responsibility, your personal own responsibility to repair all those items down the road, which would be a lot more than that $400 or $500. Our last mistake that I see a lot of times with buyers is they just get so fed up over the process and they put an offer on any house. And this happens a lot during the sellers markets where there's more buyers than there are sellers. So the buyer has gone through, they made offers on houses, they got denied, they made offers on houses and somebody else outwins them on a bid, and they just kind of get over it. So they just say, you know what, honestly, I just need to move to a house, I don't really care, I'll just live in this house a couple of years and I'll sell it and get another house later down the road. This is a mistake. Take your time. It is a big investment. There are a lot of costs associated with buying a house and then also the mortgage payment as well. So don't buy with, once again, emotions and just get so fed up with the process of buying a house and moving forward. One of the things you can do to alleviate this is hiring a realtor that understands the process, understands your market thoroughly, and understands pricing strategies when it comes time to actually make an offer. A lot of times, not the strongest offer will always win out too. So it's not like it's listed at, let's say, 200,000. If you come at 210, you're not always going to win. There are other items that you need to take into consideration for the seller when they go to accept a house or an offer on that house. Things like the timeline, how long it will take you to close, is there any contingencies on the property, are you asking up front for a lot of repairs, do you have a non-realty items that you're asking for, are you asking for all the furniture in their house, I've seen that before. Those type of items too will negate the actual sales price of the house. So sales price is not king all the time, you have to look at all the little items. Find a realtor that will help you through a seller's market or ensure that you won't go through that I'm just fed up buying a house, give me in a house mentality. So there you have it. Those are the 7 top mistakes I see new home buyers making throughout the process of purchasing a home. When you're ready to make those the next steps to purchase a home, make sure you call me, David Caraccio at the Vet Group, 210-771-1658. Hey everyone, I'm David Caraccio with the Vet Group at Covenant Partners Realty. Today we're at Alamos Park at a couple homes, and we're gonna...
Door.
So that discount is not going to be there because that listing agent is going to just take the entire commissions versus splitting it with another realtor. So the listing agent is going to be happy. Hey everyone, I'm David Caraccio with the Vet Group at Covenant Partners Realty. Today we're going over the top 7 items I see. Hey everyone, I'm David Caraccio with the Vet Group at Covenant Partners Realty. Today we're at Alamos Park. Listening. Yeah, sure.